Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces, October 11, 2022. Pluto stations and turns direct today after over 5 months of retrograde motion, and there can be a feeling of a breakthrough with a close relationship this week. You might come to a decision that has been a long time coming. In the coming weeks, you could be surprised to discover an ally or a newfound faith in someone you already know. You can learn valuable things about someone special in your life, finding new layers to a person or special relationship. Dramatic feelings, discoveries, or intensified pressure can occur with today's shift. It's temporary and perhaps designed to get your adrenaline pumping to make needed changes. Fiery energy is building, and you most certainly will already be feeling it. This is because the full moon in Aries is approaching. While it has been slithering in for a day already, it will peak tomorrow and echo out for days in the week ahead. A full moon in Aries may feel a bit off-putting for you, as you are normally more sensitive to others. Yet, this lunation energizes cardinal fire and puts everyone, including you and your lover, into an aggressive, combative mindset. It will be all or nothing, yes or no, black or white. It is a time to seize what you desire. You have the power. Since Pluto retrograde in Capricorn has gone on from the end of April until today, you may have felt incredibly introspective about your professional commitments. You may have pondered the power or control dynamics in your arrangements, especially if you have wondered about how you were going to move forward better than ever. Take every instance from this period into consideration, as it is your time to transform your relationships and obligation with Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn today. Use direct Pluto to assert your desire for change. As Saturn moves into his final 2 weeks in retrograde motion in your financial sector, he might be slowing to a crawl, but it is at the end of what has been a good and empowering week for money matters. With Saturn just days away from a friendly aspect to both the Sun and Venus, the planet of money, and to Mars later in the month, the slower money matters are moving, the more confidence there is likely to be. You can easily gain psychic vision under the current planetary influence and thus get a preview of the area of your life associated with health and well-being. Ask yourself what you see and take notes. Keep in mind that you are asking for your own benefit what is in store for you. To help you keep hold of this ability, be sure to maintain a healthy diet that includes a great deal of fresh produce and pure drinking water. Your body is the lens through which you see the future. This will be a great day because all of the vibrations at the moment are uneven and will be opening up a relatively favorable period. Go toward others, renew your ideas, be informed, and communicate what you think, but stop wanting to get your family and friends involved in your projects. Your strong personality must be flexible, because then you will see your initiatives come to fruition very quickly. While you are waiting, re-energize yourself in your sentimental life by rediscovering the charms of the person you love. While the moon's departure from an adventurous part of your chart and return to your career sector marks a fairly dramatic shift in focus, they do have something in common. As the moon wraps up its last visit to an adventurous part of your chart before Jupiter retrogrades back in for a rare double-dip visit, there are clues to what you might want to revisit when the doors open even wider to the past and second chances. Meanwhile, the moon not only returns for its last visit to your career sector while Jupiter is here, but to begin the lead up to a full moon that could be a catalyst for a breakthrough. After over 5 months in retrograde motion, Pluto, the planet of change and revolution, doesn't just turn direct in your relationship sector today, but begins a journey forward that after 14 years will see him leave in March. With the support of Mercury, the planet of communication, in his last weekend in your friendship sector, it is time to shift your focus from the past and onto the future and the journey ahead. Our eyes in the sky. With the full moon in the passionate sign of Aries, it's a day to focus on your innermost desires and needs. This could be tough because, combined with the Sun in Libra, it could cause some people-pleasing energy. That doesn't go too well with what the universe is requiring of the collective these days. Maybe you're now learning that you are your own family, though you could have regrets over something or someone who recently left the picture. Keep in mind that most of these transits aren't for the faint of heart. This moon in Aries hasn't let up on the gas at all. It isn't your responsibility to be an emotional punching bag in any respect. The theme of abuse of power dominates the conversation overall. Having compassion for yourself and your closest loved ones is the most important thing. Everything else really doesn't matter. You are a human being, and living the human experience can be harsh in general on a grander scale. Addictive cycles and dramatic patterns are also a possibility for some who are trying to cope with these changes. Taking the curious approach to your thoughts is the best way to determine any solutions. Prioritize your basic needs. Knowing that there are so many who are feeling the same way will help you through the tough times. Know how amazing you are and how much the universe loves you. Mid-afternoon, the Aries full moon provokes anxiety. The September 25th Libra new moon prompted us to set intentions for establishing reciprocal relationships, while warning that fixating on perfection could tip the scales off balance. Today, this giving-receiving dynamic is illuminated. We are forced to pull back cooperative energy to focus on our own needs. Yet, the moon's conjunction with wounded healer Chiron makes this an extremely awkward process. The Aries moon amplifies the perception that taking risks, pioneering our efforts, and even expressing difficult emotions like anger, puts us at a disadvantage. It doesn't help matters that the Sun is traveling with Venus, putting extra pressure on us to achieve relational harmony. At this time, we are guided to recognize that when we pursue our aims, we heal ourselves, thereby making ourselves better candidates for relationships based on mutual respect. If we constantly focus on our perceived failures or weaknesses, we will continue to sell ourselves short in our partnerships, believing ourselves to be unworthy of those whose love we desire. As difficult as it may be to negotiate this day, any brushes with self-doubt, insecurity, or criticism are intended to highlight anxieties so they can be reintegrated healthily. In doing so, we build a foundation of self-love, a prerequisite for relational love. In the evening, the moon sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, offering stabilization following a tricky full moon. This transit harmonizes the energies of our inner child and inner elder. It allows us to understand that emotional safety must come from within, from interior self-regulation. By setting proper boundaries, we engage with others in healthier and happier ways. Limits do not restrict us, they provide a safe container for growth and experimentation.